Polluted Thoughts Podcast, real talk with real people. I'm your host, Colin Garrett. We're live, PTP number 55. We're here with one of the biggest personalities in all of bare knuckle fighting, Zach Calmus, the Shark, the Killer. He just announced today on his Instagram he's going to be fighting on February 16th versus Freeman. What is his first name? I can't find any information on him when I was looking him up.
Mr. Freeman. I just know his last name.
Yeah, I just know
Freeman.
that. Doesn't matter. We're gonna dog him. Doesn't matter.
I don't know his name, but I know his name is Freeman, and he
Sweet.
looks like a big, tough, strong guy.
He does look like a big guy. What's the anything changing?
Yeah.
Have you just been anything changing game plan wise now that you know who you're fighting? Is it just the same mentality going in?
Well, I never fight any guy the same exact way. And especially in this sport where accuracy is the most important thing.
Mm.
So I don't fight any two guys the same. No, I'm not gonna fight Freeman the same way that I fought Fernier, and I didn't fight Fernier the same way that I fought McElroy. And I learned from my first fight with Bobo Bannon to fight differently when I fought my second fight. So I was able to clean up a lot of things. I went to Puerto Rico and I learned a style that was beneficial for bare knuckle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got boxing on television. It's taking over. It's taking over the sound waves. So I'm coming to here.
Appreciate it. Seems like a lot of fighters are going out there in Puerto Rico. What interests you to bring you out there?
Going to Puerto Rico, other than the weather being beautiful, but being made for a fighter, the training. I went to Puerto Rico for the training when I went. It was about 2 years ago when I was getting ready for my New York camp. And I went to Puerto Rico for the training to learn how to fight bare knuckle. And I adjusted everything about myself, from my footwork to my head movement to my hand positioning to offensively and defensively what I was looking at to do game plan wise. You know what I mean? I decided to change things up in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say, so starting as a boxer, you've been boxing, I'm assuming, most of your life. How does that opportunity to bare knuckle kind of change things?
Well, in boxing, you can win a fight being the tougher guy, and in bare knuckle, that doesn't pay dividend. It pays to be the smarter guy. So, like boxing, you can take one to give one, if per se. Like if you can take a shot, and you have no problem putting your hands down, eating a shot to land a hard shot. Um, in bare knuckle, it doesn't pay dividend because you take a hard shot, or even a light shot, an accurate shot, and you get cut. You turn the scissored up, then you're looking at a stoppage because of the cutting. So really, it's about accuracy. So you don't want to get punched. You don't want to take shots.
Okay, more about defensive then, rather than boxing. You can kind of just go blow for blow.
For me, I think a smart fighter is going to be patient and find the opportunities rather than playing checkers where you just blow for blow. Who's the tougher guy? An experienced fighter is going to get in the ring and see certain things. Is it a righty or a lefty that I'm fighting? And when I see if it's the righty or lefty, then I decide which way I'm going to move, away from their power or to their power. These are things that I learned as a kid when I was fighting in the USA boxing. So I don't suspect I'm going to see anything that I haven't seen, but I'm still ready because anything could happen in a fight. You know what I mean? He could come out and do something completely different than what I even planned for.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you joined BKFC back in 2021, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. Coming up, I went to a tryout in January, and then my fight with Bobo is in April. It'll be 3 years in April.
So when you saw that opportunity, was that just your golden goose kind of? Was it a Mike Perry-esque situation where you knew bare knuckle was kind of the direction you wanted to go?
Well, my record in boxing, it reflect my amateur record was 5-18. It reflects, bro. I only lost two fights by getting TKO'd stoppage. And my point being is that them fights were at the national level. I was trying to brawl guys out. I was trying to knock guys out with gloves on and headgear. And headgear is a false sense of protection. You can hit a guy with a headgear on, they could take more damage than they could take from a bare knuckle or
Mm.
no headgear. Like I don't want to one pro fight in boxing. I knocked the guy out easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say because your one pro bout is your 1-0 technically if you look you up online.
I'm undefeated, baby.
I actually saw when I was looking on Tapology and everything, it looked like you had a canceled boxing bout that for like August this past year versus
I was
Kashawn Davis, right?
in Louisiana.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so.
Yes, yes. Big Baby Davis is a beast. He's a monster of a fighter. See, that fight was a fight that I took when I was in Louisiana. That I was offered. I was offered the fight in Louisiana while I was there. I was not there for a fight. You know what I mean? I was there to help my brother Blake Lacaze prepare for his
Yeah.
bare knuckle fight. So I took the fight on short notice, and I was prepared to do the fight, and I still want to do the fight, but I got very sick. I got dehydrated. It was 120 degrees
Oh
in
shit.
Louisiana. I don't know if you've ever been to Louisiana, but
I
have you?
I have not, no.
Well, you don't mess with Louisiana. You don't mess with the South. And in the summertime, when you're driving, it's not a joke. There's on your radar, it'll come up that it's a danger zone because it's 140 degrees, 130 degrees,
Holy
and
shit.
you could literally, and it's dry heat. It's not like up north. Where are you located?
I'm in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, so I'm not too far from you.
All right,
I
so
know,
you
yeah.
know what it's like up
Yeah.
down there. It's dry heat, so you could get dehydrated and not even be sweating.
It's killer. In Arizona, it's like 117, 120 like that, and it was dry heat. That's about as far south as I've gone. But I feel like down there in that
Same type.
swampy area too, it's terrible.
You feel like you're just, you're below the sea level, especially when you're down towards New Orleans. That's just,
Yeah.
it's very hot, and it caught me by surprise. I finished up sparring, and I was sick as a dog. I came home. That's why the fight didn't happen. It was on my end. I was on my way to the airport, and the promoter was calling, Zach, we'll give you a few more dollars if you could do the. I'm like, I'm pale white. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Definitely excited to see that in the future though, for sure. Speaking of
That'd be
Louisiana
that.
though, your buddy Blake, how did that all happen? The Massachusetts Louisiana connection. How did that
You're
happen?
talking. I like the way you said that. The Massachusetts Louisiana connection. That's what it is. So my fight down in Louisiana, I fought my third bare knuckle fight in Boutwell Auditorium in Louisiana, and I fought the champion, the ABO champion of boxing in Texas. I fought the honorable and the great Juan Torres.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was a very hard fight for me. I trained very hard, hardest I ever did in my life. And he was a lefty, and my sparring partner is a lefty, so I knew what to do with the lefty. And I had a great fight, but I ended up losing the fight on split decision. But I met Blake at the fight. You know what I mean? He was fighting,
Okay.
making his bare knuckle debut. So we just become good friends at the barbecue restaurant after the weigh-ins.
Okay. That's a good connection right there at a barbecue.
Yeah, I just saw him sitting there. I said, "Are you from here?" He said, "Yeah, I'm from here." I said, "What's up, man? I'm from Boston. Let's talk." And from then on, we just had that friendship. You know what I mean? We both fighters. We've both been fighting a long time. We come up in USA boxing, and even further back. So my coach is 76 years old,
Oh shit.
Mr. Mr. Martin Grealish, and his gym is on Freeport Street in Boston. And His coach down there in Louisiana, Blake's coach is Mr. Sparky McDuffie. Mr. Sparky McDuffie. And Sparky is an older gentleman too. I'm not sure of his age. But when I was down in Louisiana training with Blake, getting ready for the New Orleans fight where he fought New Orleans and he won. Um, his coach, we're driving. He's like, "Wait a minute, Mr. Grealish. I think I know Mr. Grealish. I coached against him in the Nationals." I said, "Wait a minute, you coached against him in your 20s. You guys are both in your 70s." So I look at that, how time it brings you back to each other.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's insane that they even
Because
have that connection. A name like Sparky McDuffie's insane.
well, it's Irish, Sparky
I say that's
McDuffie, and
super
then
Irish.
Mr. Grealish. You know what I mean? It's as Irish as it can go. And I'll tell you this: they both, when I come home to Boston and sparring, I say, "Mr. Grealish, I met one of your buddies, Sparky McDuffie." He said, "Oh, Sparky McDuffie." So they know each other, and they
That's
coach. They
awesome.
coach in the Nationals. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it's kind of amazing how my journey is going to bring two other people back together, bring their journeys back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crazy how life always has a way of doing that. I feel like the world's so small, brings everyone together
The
eventually.
most beautiful moments are not
Mm.
things that we can pay for. There's not things we can pay for, or things that are given to us. It's things that are acquired through sacrifice and determination, having the respect to look yourself in the mirror and know what you're made of. That's really what it comes down to. And once you know that, once you know what you're made of as a man, then you make good decisions and you have all the right people around you. You can just conquer the whole world, just become so small, like you said.
Yeah, I love that. That was beautiful. That was awesome. Speaking of,
Thank
you're
you.
talking about
Thanks.
Boston and everything, bro. You grew up right outside in Gloucester, right?
Yes, sir.
How'd growing
Yes,
up in
sir.
like Gloucester and Boston, everything influence your whole boxing and just fighting life?
So I grew up on the North Shore. As a kid, I grew up and went through high school. I graduated from Marblehead High School.
Okay.
Marblehead, Marble Bread, baby. '09. And yes, I'm a high school graduate handsomely. And I had good grades too. I was a little rough in school. I like to fight. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I moved up here over 10 years ago. I moved up here when I turned 20. And I'll tell you that this is the first city that ever made me better.
Mm,
Meaning that like they didn't accept the man that I was for who he was. They saw greatness in me, everybody here, and they push me to be that person. So everything I do, everything I am, I dedicate to my city as a man. How much do you know before you get out of high school? And when you get out of high school, 18, 19, you start figuring what the world has for you, good and bad. And I had to
mm.
figure that stuff out the hard way. I had to figure that stuff out the hard way. I could never be told anything and just listen and say, yeah, okay, I'll take that advice. That would have been the easy way, but I did it the hard way, the stupid way. And I'm just happy and grateful that the communities that I lived in were strong enough to grow me. You know what I mean? To grow
Yeah.
me into a full grown man that takes responsibility for his actions and the things he says. You don't have to think about because it's always the truth. I don't. I pride myself on off the cusp. I don't have to think about what I'm going to say because I'm not a liar.
Mm. That's awesome. That's
And
kind of
that
how I run this podcast too. It's all just I have questions in my head that I think about and I want to ask you, and then we go off the cusp. It's all just discussion. Chop it up, baby. If you're a real person, it's
polluted
real talk.
thoughts. It's real. That's the key word. Like, all right, real, fake. They're both four-letter words, right, brother?
Mm.
It's polar opposites. It's like just different. Real and fake. Four-letter words. It's like what side are you on? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow, I never really even thought about that. The evil.
It's just it's the exact opposite of good
Yeah.
and evil,
Yeah.
real and fake. And then you start connecting those things. It's like, oh my God, I got a whole roadmap for what I want and I can do it with the respect of the people I care about. Because if you get where you want to get, but you lose everybody along the way, then what does it really matter for?
Yeah. What's the point?
That's that's lonely. I mean, I want to come home and I want my friends still to love me, and I want my wife to love me. My girlfriend of like 16 years, 15 years. I want her to love me the same way. When I'm before I was bare knuckle fighting to now when I have a bare knuckle fight, I can't let this get out of hand. I can't let the monster within take over. The ego.
Yeah.
I had to just say this time we're gonna do it right. And that's it.
Is there a lot of ego kind of fighting? You're like fighting the ego, so to speak, while you're training, or is that when you kind of
Ego
let the ego go a little bit?
ego is important. Ego is important. It's important to be used the right way.
Mm, yeah,
That's the only thing I can say about that is ego is very important. You have to want for things. You have to know that you're in the words of Joe Elmore, he hit me, he said, we're divine.
mm,
We have to know that we're divine. I've heard Mike Tyson say it before too on a podcast. We have to know we're on the TV. I had to say we're divine, we're special. We have to know that our feet are strong, that our legs are good. If our legs are good, they're going to carry our stomach. And our stomach, we put good things in it, so it's going to be good. It's going to carry our torso, it's going to carry our arms and our hands. And our hands are special, and our eyes are special, and our nose and our mouth. We have to believe we're the best thing on earth to walk in that and walk in that light. You know what I mean? To walk in that light for 10 minutes. I have to believe those things.
hell yeah. I think that there's a responsibility when it comes to ego for sure, and especially when you're fighting and stepping into like an octagon or stepping into a ring when you what you're speaking on is like if there's any sense of doubt, it gets exposed in that kind of environment. So you got to come in
It's
there with
exposed.
a responsibility to your ego, outside of that, and then when you get there, I guess what you're saying is kind of gotta not tame it. You gotta let untame it. Just let it go.
Yeah, I think the truth is in how we carry ourselves, is in how our souls live on. Like
Mm,
people are not going to remember. All right, so if you follow me, people are not going to remember my wins and losses, but they are going to remember how I treated them.
definitely. It's a legacy. It's what you leave behind.
Yeah, I don't care about the wins and losses. I fight, I train, I fight, I win. I keep it that simple. Now, when you have that mentality, you win every time. If you look at my record, it's 2-2. I'm batting 500. Okay, but in my two losses are both fight of the nights.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the
FOTN
first fight I ever
specialist.
saw. Was that
My chain
the
says
Torres?
BK. My chain says BKFC, but it should say FOTN because I'm the fight of the night king. I always bring it, and that's why the BKFC calls because I always bring it. I'm loyal to the brand. I love my job. I love everybody involved with the BKFC. I love everybody. I love everybody, even all my opponents. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
really do because without them, where am I? Without my opponent, where am I? Who am I gonna fight? I'm darn sure not gonna fight myself.
I
I'm
think
not
that
doing
that
it.
just
You can't.
it just shows your respect for the game. Honestly,
Yeah,
it
you
just
can't
shows
pay
your
me.
level.
You can't pay me to punch me. You can't pay me to punch me. I hit too hard. But listen, yeah. At the end of the day, we're fighting men. We're fighting men, and I think there's nothing harder than that. How am I going to disrespect another man that's willing to stand across from me and toe the line and say that he is? There's
Yeah,
nothing disrespectful about that. So I don't go there in my mind. It makes it a lot easier for me to perform at a high level when I'm not dealing with all those other thoughts. That's not. This is a great podcast, and you're a great man. But those are polluted thoughts when you think like that. You know what I mean? You start taking it in personally. It really defeats how good your performance level. It's not gonna. You reap what you sow. You know what I mean?
yeah, most definitely. I appreciate those kind words too. Hey, one thing I always
Yes,
wanted to
sir.
ask you, man,
My bad.
where did the mask come from? When did you like where did the whole mask originate from?
Well, look at me. I'm so darn ugly. I had to put a mask on when I was young because I was bullied so bad. No, no, no. The mask. So I played hockey goalie in high school. It's not just. I didn't just do it for Jason. I didn't do it to be, I didn't do it to scare people, even though it's scary. I played hockey. I play hockey. I love hockey. I still go over to play at hockey time. I still play on Route One. Like on Sundays, I go and shoot
Mhm.
around, and I have all my gear, bro. Like I play goalie, like straight up. Look,
Oh
with my
shit,
fucking pads.
still active.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm still active. I'm still playing. Like
That's
I
the
still
North
play
Shore in
pickup.
you.
And I still skate at Hockey Town on Route One in Saugus if you ever want to meet me. But what I'm saying
Hell yeah.
is that that yeah, I love hockey, but original hockey goalies didn't even wear a mask.
Yeah.
They didn't even wear a mask. They just took it off the face and they lost all their teeth and they got so
Yeah.
the guy invented the mask, um Shevers.
Yes, Eddie Shevers.
Anyway, the goal, yeah, and he put the cuts on it when the puck hit it. He
Yeah,
would
I
draw them
remember.
on.
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. I went to a Bruins alumni game not too long ago, and they were talking about
So
that.
they so this homage to the fact that I played hockey goalie and that I also used to like to fight. I'm a bad boy. I used to get thrown out of the game and I'm the goalie.
They don't have a backup.
Nah, I couldn't even play varsity because I was so badly behaved when I played hockey. I was JV all the way up to junior year. They didn't take me on the V squad because I'm a bad boy. Yeah, I used to hit people with the blocker. It's all fiberglass. I'd line them up. If we're losing bad enough, I'd skate out like one of the old time goalies, and I'd stack the double pads, and I'd slide, and I'd take out the rusher, and he'd fall on his face, and then you already know what happened. I'd stand up. Come on, let's get it. And the goalie's gonna fight me. I crack him with the blocker because I got extra reach. I hit him with the blocker. It's full fiberglass. Piece guys up as a goalie, you get thrown out.
That's awesome. That's the best origin
Yeah,
story I've ever heard for a mask.
and it's 100%. It's 100% true. My father could tell you this story where he was on the Linway and he was waiting for us to come out of the dressing room. Now we had just lost. No, we had just tied a 4-4 game in high school to Gloucester. Marblehead versus Gloucester. It must have been '07. Okay,
Is that a
I
big
was a
rivalry,
sophomore year.
Marblehead and Gloucester?
Back then it was. You know what I mean? Hockey,
Yeah.
yeah. So we met in the Linway in Lynn in Saugus, and we played at that Hockey Town, USA, and we tied them 4-4. Now we were like a scraggly bunch of kids. There's like seven of us on JV. We had enough kids for a line and a half, bro.
That's crazy. Only 7 kids on a
There
hockey
was
team.
there was only we only had like one or two subs. Dead serious. We had seven or eight
If you
kids on
got
the
kicked
team.
out of the games, who was coming in?
Nobody. We didn't have a backup goalie.
Just empty net.
Someone would have had to take my pads. The eighth kid would have to take my pads. We only had 8, 9 kids on a whole team, a
That's
JV.
insane.
Yeah, so they had like 40 kids. They had monster squad, and they
Whoa.
came out with like, "Whoa, shit!" And Gloucester was really good. We knew that. We were supposed to get blown out, but I had a heck of a game, and we ended up tying 4-4. And they were embarrassed that we tied them because they were supposed to blow us out. They had like 40 kids, man, full bench, man. They had like 4 or 5 lines. We didn't have nothing. We were the ragtag rock'em sock'em bunch.
The Mighty
And I
Ducks.
remember the Mighty Ducks. So we went to this is the Mighty Ducks for real. So I went to my locker room in Lynn at Hockey Town, and we felt a big knock on the door after the game, and we didn't know what it was. So my boy Sam Snow stood up. And he was the captain of our JV squad, and our grandfathers were friends. Dolliver was his family name. So our grandfathers were friends back in the 1950s. They used to play
Shit.
cards, bro. So we were meant to be brothers. And he stood up and he answered the door because he's the captain. And the kid stepped in and blasted him. The Gloucester captain blasted him, and they invaded our locker room.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro. And I just started duffing kids. Boom, 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 boom. And I got all my pads on still. It was like right after the game. Like, I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. And I'm just whooping ass. You know what I mean? I'm throwing kids left and right. And some little kid comes running out into the main room there on the Linway. And he's like, somebody come in here. The Marblehead goalie's kicking all our asses. And my dad's like, oh, man, that's my son.
That's hilarious. That
So,
is an awesome
yeah,
story.
no matter what sport that I played, hockey, football, and lacrosse, it was not really hockey, football, lacrosse. I was just out there to fight guys.
Was was boxing prevalent in your life like at a young age? Did you start boxing very young?
I started boxing at 17 years old.
Okay. So you were just a
I
fighter. You just
I
liked to fight prior.
I did karate, a lot of
Oh, okay.
karate when I was a kid. Yeah, I did a lot of karate when I was in middle school and even into high school. I love karate. I did like tempo karate and Wing Chun because a lot of the guys I'm fighting are taller,
Yeah.
so and they're bigger. So I'm like 6 foot, 250 pounds. So the guys I'm fighting are 6'3". Like my opponent's 6'3". Um, I'm used to fighting guys who are taller than me because if you know what Wing Chun is, if you started in martial arts, Wing Chun was a Japanese princess. And Wing Chun is a martial arts designed for a female to defend against male attackers.
Hmm. Okay, I did not know that.
Now, the male attacker is usually bigger than the female attacker. So, Wing Chun, being a female princess, a Japanese princess, she had to defend against all the guys trying to wed her because she didn't want to marry anybody. You understand?
Oh, shit.
She wanted to do what she wanted, so she did Wing Chun. So she defended against bigger attackers with her style of martial arts, and that's the martial art that I use.
Huh. That's crazy. I never even knew that.
Yeah, look it up on Google or YouTube. They have like some videos about Wing Chun, and it just shows how useful it could be with bare knuckle.
Yeah, definitely. Especially somebody like you. I mean, even like a Mike Perry guy, he's fighting people who are much bigger than him too. Like
Yes,
when he
sir.
like when he fought Rockhold.
I've only fought one guy shorter than me, and he was heavier than me too. So I haven't fought anybody smaller than me.
Damn.
I pride myself on being a smaller heavyweight.
Yeah, what kind of like other than reach, what kind of like difficulties does that bring? Do you feel that the people, they don't even hit as hard as you? So like, I mean, what other obstacles would that bring?
There's no there's no difficulty in being a short heavyweight. There's none. I see no obstacles in being a tall heavyweight either. I think it's all the fighter's individual approach.
Interesting. I like that. I love
Look
that.
at Mike. Look
Mike
at Mike
Tyson.
Tyson.
Yeah.
How did he beat these guys? He was 5'10". Look at Muhammad Ali. How did he beat these big, strong guys? He outsmarted them. He fought smarter. He fought better.
Was he a big inspiration for
Smarter.
you growing up?
Muhammad.
Well, Mike Tyson more was what I was thinking.
Uh, I was born the same day as Iron Mike Tyson.
Oh, so some definite inspiration for Mike.
I was born the same day as Mike Tyson, Cody Rhodes, and Michael Phelps.
Damn, it's an important day.
Yeah,
What day is
but
that?
most of it, June 30th.
Oh shit. All right.
Most of my inspiration comes from Iron Mike because I feel like I just get it when he says something, even if it's some little tape from way back, it kind of just registers. I feel like I can understand his mindset, his rage. Talks about his rage being very unique. So is mine. Um, I don't know how to explain that much more, but
Range
um,
of skills or
rage, my
mindset.
rage.
Oh, rage. Excuse me, rage. Got it. Got it. I
When
see what
I
you're saying.
when when I bring it out, people get scared.
Well, you were talking about the monster earlier when you were
I don't have
saying,
to. The thing about my rage that makes it very unique is that my anger, I don't have to. Some people have to build themselves up. They have to get themselves pumped up to do incredible things, to do big, powerful things for a football game, for a fight. I don't have to hype myself up at all to do what I have to do. I just do it.
hmm, interesting, because you seem like a
I
nice,
always,
loving guy, man.
yeah, I'm very calm. I'm a nice, loving guy. I love my wife, all my friends. Nobody on my neighbors will tell you anything bad about me. But when it's time to fight, I put on a different animal. I know how to bring him out. He's always there. So I never have to reach down too far because when I reach down, he's always there. So I told my best friend Blake, when you reach down, that monster's always going to be there, brother. So don't worry. When that bell rings, you're going to be good. And that's the truth. I don't have to try to be this guy. I don't have to formulate or manipulate or build my anger or build my power or build my confidence because it's all there. When I reach down for it, when it's time to handle business, I'm the guy.
Hell yeah. Is that where the nickname the Shark comes from?
No, no, the shark attack, it's
Yeah.
just something shark. I move like a shark.
You do.
I
I've
move
seen
like
a
a
lot of,
shark.
yeah, the
I
head
move
movement.
like a shark, meaning it's not just that shark tactics, shark tactics. So listen, a shark moves very slow, very calm, and then it drops down 400 meters, 4 football fields, and then it comes up like this, like a missile. A lot of people don't know this. When a great white goes down, it goes down 400 meters, 4 football
Damn.
fields, and then it shoots up at 32 miles an hour. And that's why it breaches water when it gets a seal.
Yeah.
That's why the shark breaches water because it's coming out of the water at 32 miles an hour at close to 22,000 pounds, the biggest great whites.
Shit.
So for it to go from being calm, they smell blood, winding up like a roller coaster, like a backwards roller coaster, then that's just like me. I go 0 to 100 like this.
Mm.
I could completely, I completely snap without even trying. Like I could, not like in a bad way. I mean that I
Yeah.
could go for a 7 mile sprint right now. I don't have to hype myself up. I don't have to even. I don't have to stretch. I don't have to listen to rap music or hip hop. I don't listen to a big rock song. Nah, bro. All I do is go out, see the pavement, and then I run like the wind. I
Hell
could do
yeah.
it right now. I don't want to, but I could do it. Like I go run 7 miles, not even stop, no stretch. And that's the dog in me. You know what I mean? And to keep that dog alive, I've had to keep him fed. That takes sacrifice. I only eat certain things. I only go out certain times at night. I only go to certain places. I don't go to clubs. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. It's
It was that hard coming
my
out of
life
like
kind of.
North Shore, Boston?
No, I've never done drugs. I've never been much of a party boy. I love to party, but this is what I love way more.
Yeah.
So when you love fighting, when you love when you love your job as much as I do, you'll sacrifice anything that hinders it. I've cut friends right from my group. I said I don't want to be around you no more. You're no good for me. I made the hard decisions, and at times you just gotta thank God that those people were in your life when they were. You know what I mean? Everything's temporary. The good
Yeah.
things are temporary. The bad things are temporary. That's the tough thing about life. It's never forever. Nothing lasts. I had these shoes. When I got these shoes, I love them. Now these shoes look like crap and I need a new pair before I fight. I don't want to walk around in these. They have grass stains on them and stuff. It's
Yeah.
time for a new pair. Nothing lasts. Like the
Wow.
pair of shoes.
It's a great metaphor.
Nothing lasts for look at them. Nothing lasts forever.
You're rocking some real dad shoes there.
I'm on my way. I'm not a father yet, but I'm on my way someday. I'm
Someday.
32. It's all right. I'm
32
old
years
enough.
young, man. Other than
32 years strong.
other than BKFC, have you ever thought about going into like game bred or like MMA?
I had never wrestled in my life.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I did a couple of couple of kickboxing smokers and stuff when I was young. I don't really like getting kicked, to be honest with you. It hurts. It
It
hurts.
does fucking hurt. It does
Well,
hurt.
I was holding pads for a friend, and she's not a big girl. She's a little girl. She's strong, but she's not a big person, is what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Can I throw some kicks?" Because she loves Muay Thai. And she started kicking me. I'm like, "Oh, no, no. We gotta just punch. No, no kicking." I don't like getting kicked, man. Nah, I got short legs too. Why do I want to get my short, fat legs kicked?
That's awesome. Well, brother, I don't want to take too much of your time. This conversation was absolutely and utterly fantastic. You are the man. I've been following you for about like 2 years now on Instagram, and it was a pleasure to finally sit
Well,
down and talk to you, man. I've been a big fan for a while.
you
Um,
got a friend. You got a friend to me now. And
Hell
I'll tell
yeah.
you this. You'll like this last story. I'll leave you one last closing thought. I think this is gonna be funny. If anybody ever fights me in mixed martial arts, and I'm prepared to sign the contract, okay, all you got to do is double leg me, take me to the ground, and beat the shit out of me because I don't know what to do when I get down there.
We gotta take you for
I,
we gotta take you for a couple jujitsu classes, man. That's what I came up on back in the day.
I don't even know what to do in the video game when I go down. I just throw punches on the ground. Uh, I just throw punches from my back.
You
If
are
if somebody's down to
hilarious.
have an old, if you want to have an old school MMA fight, find me an opponent who wants to just throw punches from the back. I'm down.
Dude, I'll be on the lookout. You heard it here. He's looking for somebody.
Yeah, I'm down to make my mixed martial arts debut in 2024. That sounds good.
Hell yeah. My brother Zach, the Shark, Calmus, stopping by PTP. Everybody stay tuned in for his fight coming up February 16th. He's going shark attack mode. He's gonna go crazy. My brother, I hope we link up soon. We're in the same state, so I'll be in contact. Hit you up. Maybe we could train together, play some
Man,
hockey together.
you gotta come by the gym one day and do an interview at my gym. We have
Hell yeah.
sparring on Saturday mornings in Boston. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Freeport Street. I'm always there on Saturday at 10 a.m.
Hell yeah.
Dorchester, come by.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna come through. We'll set that up.
I want to bring you some T-shirts and we can take some pictures. It'll be really fun.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank
All
you,
right,
brother. I'm gonna
all right,
text
brother.
you. All right, brother. Good luck
All
with
right,
the training.
I'm gonna hop
Much
off
love.
here and I'm gonna share all this. Thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna share all this shit up. Make sure you get to posting it. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Hell
Polluted
yeah, brother.
podcast.
Let's go.
Ah!
Leave always leave your peace and believe in yourself, fools.
Let's light
Thank
them
you,
up,
Zach.
baby.
I'll see ya.